They're off for the Bet365 Craven Stakes. The Rowley Mile ahead of them, a field of 7 led from the stalls by Dancing Magic, with the orange cap to Ancestral Land racing on the far side. Indestructible in a violet jacket drops into 3rd place early on, tracked by the grey Mostabshire in the Shadwell Silks. Mr. Mistopheles in a pink jacket at this stage is held up with the Foxes, the striped sleeves just in front of him, and Will Buick has dropped Mysterious Night out just about last of the field and some 4 lengths off the pace setters, who at the end of a couple of furlongs are Indestructible on the near side of Dancing Magic. Ancestral Land in a dark blue jacket sits at their quarters, and they in turn are tracked by the grey Mostabshire. The Foxes, meanwhile, on the extreme right is tracking Indestructible towards halfway, and Buick has switched Mysterious Night towards the far side to race alongside Mr. Mistopheles. Dancing Magic leading them down to the 3 on the far side from Ancestral Land. Indestructible on the near side to the Foxes in a striped sleeve jacket, the grey Mostabshire in midfield. Mysterious Night held together the white-faced individual, and Mr. Mistopheles ridden along in rear past the bushes, heading downhill to the final 2 in the Craven, and the Foxes in the centre has come powering through to challenge Indestructible. Dancing Magic in 3rd, Mysterious Night hasn't picked up, neither has Mostabshire. Indestructible on the near side, battling back to the Foxes as they climb inside their furlong. Indestructible and Kevin Stott in front, fending off the Foxes. What a week this has been for Amo Racing. Indestructible wins the Craven. The Foxes in 2nd, Dancing Magic 3rd, Ancestral Land back in 4th.
Indestructible has just won the Bet365 Craven Stakes. His new trainer is Karl Burke. He did that really nicely.
You'd have to be impressed with it, really. I haven't seen a replay. I know the King Power horse obviously was fairly close to us, but I think there was a decent gap back to the 3rd, and he wasn't stopping, you know, and ran very fresh, keen early, but Kevin said he couldn't pull him up after the line, so all bodes well.
And how long have you had him?
He arrived in the yard in January, I think. Pretty sure it was January. You know, he had some great form there last season, and I was just saying to the other guys there that I think looking at him and the way he moves, he would have been inconvenienced on the heavy ground when he was behind Chaldine of Andrew Bolding. So this better ground would help him. We had a couple of little niggly issues, physical issues that we ironed out, and nothing major, but enough that, in my opinion, he'll come on again for the run, and I think he has to. You know, he's gone in there a bit fresh today, but his work over the last 2 weeks, each piece of work he's done leading into this has been better and better. So I'm convinced he'll pull out even more now.
So it's Guinea's next stop. Were you concerned about the trip going into this?
Initially, I was, and I was thinking of Saturday at the Greenham. But, you know, I was talking to Roger O'Callaghan, who obviously stands Kodiac, and he said, well, he's not a typical Kodiac, is he? And he's not. He's a big, strong, powerful, scopy horse, and some of the Kodiacs can be a little bit more set. And when you look on the dam side, there's a lot of stamina there. So once I'd had a good look at the pedigree side on the dam side, I was confident that we would see out the trip, you know.
So you'll be looking forward to the Guineas now. I need to ask you quickly, because you're about to be called up for your prize. Swing Along, we're going to be seeing her.
She runs in the Fred Darling, or what used to be the Fred Darling. She's working very well. Secret Angel sort of franked the work yesterday and ran a good race, and I'd expect Swing Along to go very close. The soft ground she's never ran on, but she's a showcasing, so I would hope that she'll handle that.
Okay, well, I wish you the best of luck with her. Many congratulations with Indestructible. I look forward to seeing you back here in May.
Thanks, Lydia. Thank you.
It's been a superb week here for Amo Racing. Their retired rider, of course, is Kevin Stott. Now, he wasn't on all of them this week, but he will be for the Guineas, and you will be on Indestructible, you would have thought, for the Guineas itself. That was a great win in the Craven. What were you thinking as he was going through the race?
To be fair, it wasn't a plan to go out and make the running. There wasn't a lot of pace on in the race, and Karl was just saying it's very important to get him into a rhythm. He's a very big horse, so like we didn't want to like kind of break his stride and stuff. So when I did find myself in front, I just had to get him into a nice rhythm for him to finish his race. Coming into the 2-pole, I was just feeling the other horses coming around me, and I was picturing just coming past me, and we would have finished off a nice 4th or 5th, and you know. But as soon as we hit the dip, he just took off again, you know. And to be fair, I couldn't really pull him up. So
yeah, it looked like a really good performance, and he was a bit gassy. Karl said he's missed a bit of work with some niggly problems, so he's expecting quite a lot of improvement. What do you think about that?
I mean, he's a big horse. You know, he looked like he was fit and sharp, but like he did look like he could just tighten up a tiny bit more. So listening to bigger run of field, stronger pace, maybe a horse to aim at. You know, I don't know. He hit the line very good there, and yeah, like I say, I couldn't really pull him up. So
You'll have watched him being defeated by Chaldean a couple of times last season. Can you see him turning that form around as a 3-year-old?
I mean, he's he's had a different trainer now. He's a lot bigger, physically a lot stronger, and yeah, what he did today, you know, was only brilliant. As in, he'll come on for the run a little bit. So yeah, you know, hopefully we can turn the form around.
He's a player, isn't he? Now, Mama's Girl is also a player. You were on Queen Ollie, so let's talk about the Nell Gwyn from your perspective first.
Listen, Queen Ollie was prime for that race yesterday. We didn't actually think she'd stay a mile, which is why we had her primed for yesterday. Mama's Girl was always going to come on for the run, and you know, Mama's Girl, whatever she did yesterday was only going to be a plus for later down the season. But what she did yesterday was obviously incredible. Shawnee gave her a lovely ride, and yeah, Queen Ollie, listen, she might not train on as well as we had hoped, but at least we've got Mama's Girl to look forward to.
She looks very exciting. Now, I think she might have had a bit of cover off the headwind, and that might have helped her, but the turn of foot that she showed was very special.
Yeah, I think it was very important that she'd obviously won her maiden here, so she handled the track very well. She came down the dip very nicely, and obviously picked up really nice when she hit the rising ground. And yeah, Shawnee said that she felt really good, so you know, hopefully she'll come on a tiny bit for that as well, and should be in with a good chance come 2 weeks' time.
And then there was also Persian Dreamer, the filly who won the over 5 furlongs yesterday. She looked very professional.
Yeah, you know, she gave me a really nice feel the first time I even sat on her. So I was looking forward to riding her a lot yesterday, and she actually went and did what I expected of her. She's very tall for a filly, but she handled the track very well, and I really liked her attitude before and after. But yeah, the whole team down in Lambourne had her primed, and no, she won very well. I was very impressed. Yeah,
Dominic Fitzdavis was saying that she might not even need a stepping stone to Royal Ascot. Do you feel that she's professional enough to go there on her second start?
Yeah, I mean, I can't see why not. You know, she's not a filly that would take a lot of training. You know, so hopefully she would have come out of the race well. And then just, yeah, I think we're just going to prime her and go straight to Ascot. Yeah, I can't see why not.
Exciting. Now, remind me the name of the colt who got beaten on the first day of the Craven meeting. Is it Cuban Master? Would that be his name? Or am I...
Cuban Thunder, I'm sure.
Cuban Thunder. I'm sure you're right, not me.
Profitable. Yeah, he's by Profitable. Very nice horse as well. He's probably a 6 furlong horse. We were just hoping that the ground would have been a bit slower and we could have got away with it over 5 furlongs. But he ran a massive race, and we were very happy with him. So we'll probably put him away now until the 6 furlong races, and hopefully we can go win a nice maiden or a novice and maybe go to Ascot as well. You know.
I thought he did really well, bearing in mind he did a couple of sort of novice-y things wrong, and he was up against a horse that had been primed for the breeds up sale. So, you know, I thought that was pretty promising.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was very green beforehand and a bit slow away, and we got him into nice rhythm though. And yeah, like I say, he is a 6 furlong horse that we just thought we'd get away with it a little bit with the ground, but the ground was just dried up a tiny bit.
It was nice to see Keir Jarabchian here yesterday for Amo Racing. You know, it's good for him to have an hour where he has a Guineas candidate and a Royal Ascot candidate within that hour, because that's the kind of place that he wants to be playing at the top in, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's why, you know, Keir's invested a lot of money in buying some very nice horses. He's bought a little bit of a different horse this year, to kind of see the whole year out with some later types. Obviously there's some sharper types as well, but like he's bought some nice horses that we can see a future with come, you know, the Guineas, the big races. So yeah, like we've got a very nice team of horses, and for Keir to come like yesterday and have 2 really nice winners and a nice winner today obviously means a lot. we've had a good start. So touch wood, we can keep going through the whole season.
And from your perspective as well, having this important job as the retained rider for Amo Racing, the start you had must be really reassuring. It must be filling you with more confidence for the season ahead.
It has, and to be fair to the whole team and the trainers that's got the horses, you know, they're very positive about me riding them, and you know, it's always nice going into yard and riding out these horses, knowing that they're positive about you riding them, you know, which makes a huge deal for me personally. And yeah, like, you know, the whole team's working really hard, and it's a really, really good team. And yeah, it's just a joy, really.
Good team and an ambitious team. Great start. You've given us a lot of your time. It's very kind of you. Thank you very much, Kevin.
No problem. Thank you. Cheers.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.